Ever looked at a pile of sheet metal and wished you had a dedicated nibbler that didn't cost a fortune? Most people just reach for a pair of tin snips and end up with hand cramps for days. That is where this little drill attachment comes into play. It is essentially a gear-driven head that turns any standard electric drill into a motorized shear. It feels surprisingly solid in the hand, not like some cheap plastic toy, and the way it locks onto the drill chuck is straightforward enough that you won't be fumbling around for 10 minutes just to get it set up. The way it works is pretty clever. It uses a circular gear cutter that bites into the metal as the drill spins, effectively shearing through the material much faster than you could ever manage by hand. It is honestly a massive time saver if you're doing any kind of DIY metalwork or patching up some flashing. It handles iron, steel, copper, and aluminum with a decent amount of authority. You are looking at a capacity of about 1 millimeter for most metals, maybe a bit more for softer stuff like aluminum or copper, which is plenty for most home projects. Now here is the reality check. This thing is not a heavy-duty industrial machine. It is designed for flat sheets, and it is very clear about that. If you try to force it through a bent, ribbed, or welded piece of metal, you are going to have a bad time. It just isn't built for that, and trying to push it will likely just frustrate you. Also, it can be a little finicky if you aren't keeping a steady hand. If you do happen to get it jammed, which can happen if you get a bit too ambitious with the feed rate, don't panic. Just flick your drill into reverse, and it usually backs itself right out without a fuss. It is a bit of a niche tool, sure, but for the price, it is hard to argue with the efficiency it brings to the table. It is not going to replace a professional-grade nibbler, but for someone working in a garage or a home workshop, it turns a tedious, hand-straining chore into something that takes seconds. Just keep your expectations realistic regarding the thickness and the shape of the metal, and it will probably become one of those tools you reach for way more often than you initially thought you would. It is a simple, effective way to get the job done without breaking the bank.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.